Hey, Shelby McDaniel here. Thanks for tuning in as always. I received a comment from one of my Facebook group members, and I thought it would be a great segue to do a YouTube video on in response. And her statement was, I'm afraid of being hungry. Being hungry is the worst feeling in the world to me. I can't function when I'm hungry. I get it. And I hear that often. That's why I wanted to talk about today and really clear up some of the blurred lines potentially between real hunger and that feeling of feeling ravenous, which are two totally different things. It's really important that we eat when we're hungry. And again, we're going to go into detail in just a second, but eating when you're hungry will really allow your brain and body to feel more satisfied. You're going to enjoy your food a lot more. And if you've been following me for a while, you know there's a lot of importance in actually enjoying your food and finding some pleasure from your food to avoid overeating and cravings later on. This is often, unfortunately, the shortcoming, one of the many shortcomings of dieting is it's a mechanical sort of approach to eating versus the experience of eating. You know, I often say hunger really is the best seasoning, and it really is true. Our taste buds are so much more sensitive when we're hungry, and then it's just easier to not only enjoy our food more, but also recognize when you've had enough. So again, let's clarify that hunger doesn't mean ravenous. You know, many identify any level of hunger as ravenous, which then kind of creates this automatic disconnect from tuning into their body because hunger means pain. Hunger means I can't function, or maybe hunger for you means binge eating or out of control. And so I often educate my clients with something called the hunger fullness scale to just help them relearn when their body is trying to tell them, hey, I need to eat. So using numbers basically 1 through 5 to represent your levels of hunger, starting from the top. A level 5 really just represents that you're satisfied. It's kind of a neutral feeling. You really don't feel hungry, but you're also not overly full. So this number 5 really is kind of more of that optimum place that you are yearning to feel when you're done with a meal or snack. It's like, it's just right? And so moving down, we have a level 4. Means you're slightly hungry, like suddenly. Kind of slightly empty, nothing painful. A level 3, when we're below that, you definitely get ready to eat. But it's not painful like ravenous. It's not this, I have to eat now, like you're going to eat your arm off if you don't eat something. And then we have a level 2, which is you're really hungry. You need to eat pretty quickly. You might even begin to feel some of the negative cues. This is where maybe it's a headache, you feel really irritable. That's where this might start to sort of play out. And then we have this level 1, ravenous. This is the most painful. And this is probably what this young woman was referring to when I can't function. And so this is intense and it's very urgent. And this is where oftentimes binge eating can happen. And because if you think about it, we're kind of wired to feel more and more pain the longer and longer we go without eating. Why does that happen? So we eat and then we are rewarded with what? Pleasure. So it's a concrete means to ensure our survival. So if you've ever gotten to a level 1 hunger and wonder, oh my gosh, why can't I control myself? It's normal. It's an evolutionary primitive response in your brain and body's efforts to protect you and keep you alive. So you really do want to do your best to not get to a level 0 or even a level 1 where you're so overly hungry and ravenous because it's painful. Your body's very stressed. It's going to react more aggressively to ensure you eat, no matter how mindful your intentions are in that moment. So I hope the hunger scale was helpful for you. And just a little sidebar reminder that hunger sensations are really physical. Okay, so from this range of kind of 1 through 4, you might feel some of the following. You might have a little gnawing in your stomach, you might have some growling noises, maybe a little bit of lightheadedness, difficulty focusing, irritability, or headache. And again, the lower and lower that you get on the scale, the more intense some of these physical cues are. But when you are eating at a level 3, which is kind of like the sweet spot, if you can do that, and it's not always going to be that way every single time, it's not painful, but you're ready to eat. And some describe that almost like a void, But again, it's not very painful, but you're ready. You can even, sometimes you might even have your taste buds already start to salivate when you start thinking about food or when you start to prepare your food. So again, we don't want to wait until you're feeling the faint sort of symptoms or you're experiencing a vicious headache. We want to try to catch those hunger cues a little sooner. And again, ultimately, level 3 is the sweet spot. And I would say followed by 2, level 2 was the runner up, but really 3 is the sweet spot. So even with these outline symptoms, as you're in your efforts in trying to strengthen the connection between you and your body, you might still find it initially difficult to tune into your cues. Okay, I get this all the time. Don't panic. It's okay. Dieting over time can really disconnect us from our eating. I mean, often I hear, I don't even know if I'm hungry. So give yourself a little time to just try to relearn that. So dieting, unfortunately, like I said, can disconnect, kind of puts a wrench in all that hunger fullness hormones. So if you find it difficult, okay, just as a starting point, if you're like, I feel nothing until I'm ready to pass out, okay. Sometimes there's a little reset that we need to do. So based on basically your liver, a good starting point is to go no longer than about 5 waking hours. And this, again, this is all based on kind of scientific stuff here. Your liver needs restock with carbohydrates, usually about like every 3 to 6 hours. So you may need this to just help you tune in, okay, and maybe do some resetting if it's necessary, and it happens, okay? So you might need to do this to be intentional to to really restore that bionutritional circadian rhythm and get you back on track, and those hunger cues will come back. Okay, so I hope you found that helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below. And if you really benefited from this today's lesson, please feel free to share this with somebody that you love, know, or that could benefit. You guys take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.